Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Jesse here at Jesse Lee Strength and Fitness. I've just wrapped up run number 10 of my half marathon training program. Once again, I am doing this program to accelerate my 10K training, which is going to be the race is in a couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to that and kind of wrapping up my run training for the season. This was the longest run, I think, of the year for me. The workout was great, and I want to recap that for you now. Once again, this is the Garmin Connect app, and I'm following their run training program, and I highly recommend it for runners of all sorts. This workout was a 5-minute warm-up, a 40-minute easy run, and with a 10-minute option, and then a 5-minute cool down. So I wanted to try to go ahead and get that type of time underneath my belt. I didn't want my 10K race to have the first time I was seeing that type of mileage or time. So it felt good to do that up to a certain point. I felt really good, for that like 35 minutes. I feel like I'm conditioned for about that, running 35 minutes. And then that last 15 minutes was a little bit of a slog. I think some of the things I noticed during that last 15 minutes is just feeling like my energy systems are changing, and it also feels like kind of like my tissues are starting to take a little bit of a beating. It feels like, like kind of almost, I probably not, but it feels like almost like eating into my lean mass. And so that at that type of mileage and that type of pounding, it just feels like doing that too often. I don't know. That's just me and my body, but it feels like, that 50-minute time period of kind of clamoring down the road is a long time. But I think obviously the body does, the specific adaptations to impose demand. So I suppose if you're doing that much more often, then you would have that kind of resiliency at that time frame. So the argument can be made that conditioning more in that realm would help. I think that for me, from my perspective, is like kind of ebbs and flows, and then balancing out that training to making sure that your tissues are healthy and strong, and you got good ankles and knees. And I suppose that is possible. It feels like for me, it's a little bit long for the body that I have, for the type of training that I like. So once again, this is an ongoing kind of conversation that I've had. It's a little bit of battle between, this kind of more fast, quick, dynamic, and then this long kind of endurance thing, and then all the overarching picture of fitness, depending upon your goals. So strong, carrying good lean muscle and fit with good healthy joints, trying to find that kind of, I don't know, perfect's not the right word, but the right balance of those types of stimulus to create a body and a physique and a human that is able to kind of do that general physical preparedness. So just some of the things that I toy about in my mind, but specifically this training is so I can run a 10K and hopefully beat my time last year, which I think was like about 47 something last year at this race. So anything below 47 would be fine, but also anything below 50 is probably fine. I do have like a reach goal maybe of in the 45s. So that's that. I'll break down the rest of this run for you. So in the total run, so that was a 1 hour run, that's 6.36 miles. That includes the warm up, which I walked some of. And then my total run time, it looks like, was about 51 minutes and 30 seconds. The workout itself was 50 because of those two. I did kind of consider stopping at 40 minutes, but I was just kind of felt like I needed to push that extra 10 minutes. And when you say extra 10 minutes, that's still quite a ways. You can still run, well over a mile in that time. So that kind of drags on a little bit, but it was fine to finish. I saw 2 foxes towards the end of my run, so that was pretty cool. The run distance is about 5.73, so it's getting pretty close to my my 10K. So yeah, that's good. And then my pace, 8:44. So most of this run was ran on my single track dirt trails, kind of the first out there with the spider webs and all. That's pretty fun, actually. It kind of feels kind of radical. The river to my right, on my way back, the river to my left. So I'm breaking down the mileage here. I went out at 8:52. Next mile, 8:43. Next mile, 9:16. Next mile, 8:44. Next mile, 8:34. And that last, bit, about a 7:30. And that was kind of like the best as I could kind of interpret from my data. So I was able to kind of hold a really nice pace throughout the run on the single track. And then I was able to go a little bit faster once I got out onto the street. So definitely a little bit easier running on the street. But that's it. We're looking at a couple weeks out. Today's Saturday. It was a nice, cool, I ran with music today, which was kind of new. I figured with 50 minutes or an hour, it's like, that's just a long time. It gets a little boring. So I put on some like trance music and kind of ran my face off. So it was fun to hear the music and kind of find a rhythm and just to be out there with nature and watch the light through the trees. So, this is an ongoing conversation with me and distance running. So here we are. Thanks.